Alright, I got the ghostly thing going on again, so I've had to turn the light down a little bit. Let me just move that. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the reality TV world. So I'm all caught up on MasterChef, I think. Suba still being in it. Surprising. And it looks like on Big Brother this week, Christy's going out. So Jack's out. Now it looks like Christy's going to go. Jackson's in control of the house. He has Sis and Christy are up. And it looks like Christy's the one that'll get the votes to go home. To the jury house, right? So her and Jack can hang out. That'll be awkward. Um, it just shows that the six shooters, the Grateful, and all this, those big alliances, really easy to break them up. So even though the smartest thing those alliances can do is stick together until they're the final eight, and then go, okay, we're going to pick people off one by one. Eventually, there's betrayal. There's a lack of trust between them, and it just breaks up. So the gang's all broken up, and Christie's going out, so it'll be another one. And it means that Cliff and Nicole continue to slide through. And I'm very proud of the game Cliff's been playing. He's going to outlast Christie, so that's saying something right there. He was booted out of the house, gets back in, and now here we are. He's going to outlast Christie, so good for him. And I might get back into watching the show once that eviction is done, because it gets hard to watch when she's crying all the time. She is always crying all the time. It's sort of like on MasterChef, Brie is always crying. Brie cries if she does well, Brie cries if she does poorly. Brie cries if people like her stuff, they cry if she did. Like, she is really a crier. And again on MasterChef, I think it's going to be between Sarah and Noah. I got a funny feeling that those are going to be the final two. That Sarah and Noah will be the final two. I think Sarah's the most talented out of the bunch. I think Noah, while he's a bit rough around the edges, he does have the talent. I will say this: when they took Fred out of the competition, and he got eliminated. I thought it was great how they did it, so that they said, okay, you're a baker, you like to bake things, you're not as much of a chef as you are a baker, so we're gonna lead you in the direction of baking. I also want to throw out there that Micah's family, who was not supporting him going into this competition, I would think they have to be supporting him now. They have to be so proud of what he's done at such a young age, and he's out dueling all of these chefs who have so much more experience and are so much older than him. So fantastic job by him. So we're all caught up on MasterChef, and now I'm trying to catch up on. Trying to watch the show Titans on Netflix, but that's not a reality show, so I'm going to leave it out of this video. But through the first two episodes, all I have to say is, wow. There's a lot of comic book TV shows out there, and they're not the comic book shows they used to be. And they're pretty graphic. I do wonder if, and I know this isn't related to reality TV, but it's a tangent, and these things happen. I do wonder if the graphic nature of some of these comic book TV shows and movies, if it might hurt their staying power long term, and if it's something that eventually the audience is going to tire of, and we're going to need to go back to sort of a campy 60s Batman kind of thing. I will advocate right now for a great Fantastic Four campy movie. Please. Thank you, Marvel, if you do it. Thank you so much. Fantastic Four is supposed to be campy. It was a campy cartoon back in the 70s. I had, that was the only one I collected comic books of, and I had the little novels like you have with Archie, sort of like the little Archie books you had. I had little Fantastic Four books. Loved them. So hopefully we'll see a return to that. But back on the whole reality thing, we want to at some point watch Amazing Race Canada, which we're so far behind we haven't been watching it, so we're going to have to power through that as well. And I want to touch on finally that with Love Island, Zach and Elizabeth getting the money, and Elizabeth getting the envelope that says $100,000 and going, yeah, I'll split it with Zach rather than keep the $100,000 for herself. Nobody thought she was going to do that. The show may not have had the ratings. It's been renewed for season 2. I'm very happy about that. It was the right couple that won the money. They're sweet, and I have no doubt in my mind that they'll probably end up getting married. And I will say this too. Outside of Weston, who kind of came across as a player, for the most part, people in the villa and put in a situation that could have been really sleazy and really Bachelor in Paradise-ish, that just didn't go there. We didn't see a lot of the catty fighting. We didn't see a lot of the territorial fights that are going on with Bachelor in Paradise. I've watched 2 episodes of it. I didn't worry about watching it from the start. It's kind of hilarious. I got to admit, it's kind of hilarious, and not in a good way. So Love Island, maybe part of what hurt it in the ratings is that it's similar to other shows, and it wasn't scandalous. There wasn't really anything sleazy going on. These were people that, like for instance at the end, you have Kira and Cashel getting together, and we're all so happy for them. I almost had a tear in my eye watching them get together on the island, that he's right behind her. I was like, oh, finally. And the fact that when Kira chose not to be with Cashel and she was with Eric, that she quickly realized this was a mistake. And she pulled away, which was the right thing to do. And she basically said, look, I could try to lie my way to $100,000. Not going to do that. I'm going to stay true to myself, and I'm going to admit that I made a mistake when I rejected Cash. And I'll say this too, Kira and Cashel probably would have won that $100,000 if they'd stayed together the whole season. Cash did make a couple mistakes in there. Kira made her share of mistakes as well, but I think in the real world, I think that couple has a real chance. And Dylan and Alexandra, of course. I think they're fantastic together. I did worry a little bit about Dylan for certain points there, where I thought, is Dylan maybe hedging? Maybe like, yeah, I love you, Alexander. Yeah, I like you. This girl's really. I'll be right back. You stay right here. I'll be right back. But no, Dylan was a good guy, and so I liked all the couples. The fact that I can remember all the couples' names after the show's over shows that I really enjoyed it. I was paying attention, and yeah, it was a good show. It was enjoyable. I'm really excited for season 2 because, again, while people focused on the first episode, it's all about the bikinis and the shirtless guys, but the show's not about that. Like, I think they want it to be. I think maybe the producers want it to be. But casting, we've given casting a hard time and thrown them under the bus on Big Brother. Let's give a big shout out to the way that they casted Love Island. That was fantastic. Some really good people, some smart people, and again, reality TV shows, you can end up with a bunch of jerks and a bunch of loudmouths. There was only one person on the entire Love Island cast that I said, I really don't like that guy. Even Weston's a womanizer. I get it. Hopefully he's come out of this situation better for it, and he won't be of that ilk. I mean, guys grow out of it. You do. Guys grow out of the womanizing thing, and certainly at certain points in my life, I made some mistakes when it comes to females. So, this thing happens. You very well grow out of it. And maybe he's found himself a woman that'll help him get out of it. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below regarding Big Brother, MasterChef, or Love Island, or comic book stuff. And again, I know that's not reality TV related, but I do wonder if we're going to start seeing some real fatigue here. Because you've got DC, you've got Marvel, and now with shows like The Boys, it's shown that you can put up a comic book style thing that doesn't have to do with DC and Marvel, and people will watch it. So it only encourages more and more of these superhero, supervillain, anti-hero kind of shows. And eventually, I think people are just going to go, yeah, I've had enough. I can't do it anymore. So on that note, I'll leave it at this. There's also something to be talked about when it comes to the movement away from cable TV, but that's not for this video. So I will talk about the movement away from cable TV probably at some point this week, and how I think that trend, I'm going to post a spoiler here, that trend's going to continue. And cable TV, kind of sort of in trouble. So let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just tap it upon this video. And who do you want to see Big Brother? And tell me why you want it to be Cliff or Nicole in the comment section below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.